me to follow your lead, then you know.
I'm a sub all the way, so I'll follow you.
Oh my God, you sounding sexy already. Just the way you talking. That's you speaking to my dumb heart. How you doing tonight?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
No doubt, no doubt. And it's a pleasure to have you. And I have to first ask you, please tell me about how do you do the perfect foot job? Because I took a look at one of your foot job videos. I was like, damn, she's flexible.
Really? Oh my gosh. I don't know which one you watched, but I've only done like three foot jobs in my
Yeah.
whole career, and I didn't even really know that was a thing. And so the first one I did it, I was like, okay, do I use my toes? Do I use my foot? So I just kind of threw in a little bit of everything. I
Mm-hmm.
remember I was like clenching my toes so hard so I could kind of like get a grip or like with
Mm-hmm.
my toes that I started to get like a Charlie horse.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just part of performing. It's like you start feeling things
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
just work through it.
Yeah, because it was from Jersey feet. That's what I was looking at.
Oh yeah,
And
that was my first one.
yes, and it was funny. Cause it was funny because you use the feet, and you use the hands, combination of the feet and the hands
Yeah, because
and stuff.
I have pretty feet and hands, so it was important for me. Like I have long fingers and toes, so I really wanted to showcase
Mm.
them.
Yeah, I can see that because the toes gripping the dick perfectly, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't going for it. And so for you, because that was where it's considered a milking scene, where she doesn't do any blow job, ladies and gentlemen. It's really feet job and hand job. So for you, how is that different from doing, let's say, boy girl?
Well, like one, the most obvious one is a lot less intimate.
Yeah.
It's more safe in regards to like there's no penetration, right? There's no
Mm-hmm.
exchange of fluids. Um, but I think it's more, or not, I'm gonna say not more, but it's a different, just a creative avenue that you can take in this industry. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much porn out there these days that I really
Yeah.
commend people for honing in on a certain niche like feet. Like that's become such a thing in the porn world, and I think it used to be something that like if you were into feet you didn't really say, or even if
Mm-hmm.
you liked your feet played with you just kind of didn't say. So I really like commend all the feet creators out there who have really elevated that niche and normalized it.
Oh yeah, and to the point that it seems like that's the gateway for ladies to getting business now, other than doing solo content. What they would consider the easy way per se. Period. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're a viewer, you're the audience, like a lot of this work in general might look easy, but there's so much that goes behind it. I mean, even with my feet, like I was saying, like
Yeah.
I'm sitting in a position. It might not look uncomfortable on camera, but I'm having to like position my body, hold it upright so that I'm in the camera. Like moving my feet in ways that it doesn't move on a normal day or ever.
Mm.
So, there's just so much that goes into it, but like again, that's just part of getting the craft perfected.
See, for you smokers, let me try to duplicate it just to see how it feels. Remember that exercise when you had to sit down and they told you to touch your toes? Now, go ahead and touch your toes and hold that bitch about 6 to 7 minutes.
Literally. And start flexing your toes like up and down, like start like adding some extra shit into it.
Yes, people. So with that being said, it's time to smoke this over. Welcome to the Smokers Lounge. How you doing? I'm your host, Kevin All Summer Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. You know what to do. Find all my links with one link, allmylinks.com/porn rap star. Four sponsors to tell you about real quickly. RodSizzleMagazine.com, the wonderful BlushVeronica.com for you candle people, the Kinky Candle Company, as well as if you need legal aid, I got you covered. The Queen of Law, Mitchell Ferrari. You can find me 5 days out the week on fullswatradio.com, as well as me and many other podcasts. And also on the sgpradio.com and skyheartafterdarktv.com. Now, as you just heard and you just seen, this is a wonderful lady that has been doing some big things in the industry. And yes, she do has beautiful feet and she do have beautiful hands. She's thick as fuck and she don't mind sucking dick while wearing her sexy glasses. So I'm gonna sit back and let this gorgeous, thick ass. Mm, that's all y'all need
Queen
to know.
bee.
Introduce herself. Go ahead and tell them who you is, buddy.
Hello, I'm Veronica Cruz, and I work in porn. I don't know if I consider myself a porn star yet, but I'll be there soon.
See, it just feel like sometimes white people say they feel like they have what they call imposter syndrome.
We like to
Because
diagnose everything.
yeah, because it's because to me, if you shoot at a certain, not even when it comes to company, if you shoot a certain type way and you work with established talent that the companies are booking, award-winning talent, and so forth, I consider you a porn star. Period. Because back then we called what people call content creators that we call pro am because they shot pro style, but it was considered amateur because they wasn't with AVN. So to me, you are a porn star.
Oh, thank you.
You check the box. So, but no, I'm gonna tell you what's funny. At some point with Jersey Feet, it looked like you really wanted to suck the dick. So was that the case during that scene?
I think I was just kind of like I was kind of unsure. Okay, like I did that scene like a month into my career.
Okay.
And I actually had done a scene. So I was in Jersey. I don't live on the East Coast. I live on the West Coast. But I was in Jersey because I was there for a different shoot. And so I had done that shoot earlier in the day. And then I hit up Jersey Feet like super last minute. And they came over
Mm-hmm.
literally like at 1 in the morning to do this content. And so I
Mm-hmm.
was running on like a lack of sleep. I had just done a really long shoot. And also I was new. And the shoot
Mm-hmm.
I had done earlier in the day was like there was sucking, fucking, like there was all of it. And now it's like now we're toning it down all the way and now we're just doing feet. I think it was less a combination of different things where I'm just like,
Yeah.
I was still learning, but I think it came out good.
No, it came out beautifully coming from a dude that did this for 15 years in front of the camera and behind it. So it was beautiful. So since you already said that that was one of your first two shoots, let's go back in the time machine, shall we? And how far back are we going? Were you been in the business for a year, 2 years, three?
I started porn in April of 24, so like 6 months ago.
Damn, you started brand new. You are still a baby. All right, what got you into doing this?
Okay, well, to be quite honest, I used to be a contract manager. That was my last position.
Mm,
I worked in local government for 5 years, up until my last position as a contract manager. I got fired in August of 23.
mm,
Um, that's a whole other story. But so for a while there, I was trying to figure out like what did I want to do. Like it was an opportunity for me to just do something completely different. I was like, well, I got fired from like the 9 to 5 thing. Maybe that's just like not my thing. So
mm,
I had always like not always, but I had done OnlyFans for like the last year.
mm,
But I felt like there was more. I felt like there was just, but I'm like stuck in this little. I'm not gonna say where I live, but I live in a. I don't live in like a central area where there's like stars and entertainment opportunities
yeah.
and all that. So I felt like my potential was limited just staying within OnlyFans. And then
Mm,
someone reached out to me just randomly. I think they were just like curious and they asked if I had ever done or thought about doing porn, and
mm.
it just put the seed in my head. I was like, no, but why not? Like, why haven't I thought about it? Like, that's a great idea. So literally like that week I did my first shoot. It was a local shoot. And then that
Mm-hmm.
weekend I got flown out to go do a different shoot with an independent person or producer on the East Coast. And then
Mm-hmm.
after that, like at first I fell in love with the money, you know, like most people do, as fast, easy money.
Mm-hmm.
But like quickly turned into something that I'm like, wow, I can really make something from this. Like I could really go far. And I know that I'm kind of old in porn ages or porn age. I'm kind of old. I'm 29. So I know
Mm-hmm.
that I can't do this for very long, but that's okay for me. Like I really am wanting to meet all the goals that I've set for myself within like the next 3 to 4 years, and then I'll be
Mm-hmm.
on to something else.
Now I'm gonna tell you what's funny, people. You can tell she only been in this 6 months by just the way you're talking. Because one, you're actually coming in at the right time, age wise. Two, the game, as you will notice, is dominated. The top draws is MILF, hot housewives, of course, interracial, but on that end, older women is in, period. Especially if you start going to the conventions and stuff, you're gonna see girls killing it at 60. You're gonna see
Hmm.
girls killing it at 50. And plus, it's a business that can span years for you if that's what you want to do, or if you move a certain way. But you're already on your way because you already walked in with a 4-year plan. That's more than some girls do. And so, just to let you know, 29 woman. All right, I'll be talking to her about 10 years later. She'll be like, you know something, Bob? You remember 10 years ago you told me that, and you was right. so, so how did you secure your first shoot? Okay, first of all, was you doing okay? What type of content was you doing on your OnlyFans prior to getting into porn?
I was only doing solo content. Like I had made
Okay.
stuff with, boyfriends, but I had never really put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Um so yeah, when I got into this work, I didn't know anything. I didn't even watch porn growing up. Like
Mm-hmm.
to be quite honest with you, never really watched porn. Bunch of reasons for that as well. But so like when I started getting into it, I'm like, okay, what is BG? What does that mean? Oh, boy, girl. Okay, well, I know how to have sex, but it's just kind of
Mm-hmm.
evolved where I'm quickly like I'm a good learner. Like if I'm really like want to do
Mm-hmm.
well at something, I will commit myself to learn all the ways in which I can excel in something. And so part of it was like,
Okay.
okay, yeah, I need to do good on camera, but I also need to understand like the business side of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I just really locked myself in. I'm still doing it. I'm hustling so hard right now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
This is something I'm constantly thinking about working towards, trying to find different ways to improve or network.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all that has really paid off. Like I will credit some of it to like, yeah, I'm a attractive white woman, but
Mm-hmm.
if I could just sit back and just be attractive and white, like that'd be easy. If I could have the
Yeah.
same success, but you got to do a little more than that.
Yeah. Beauty is, well, I mean, it's one part, but the thing about it is that the game is you get what you get. You get what you put in. You get out what you put in. I always said that. Females that work the hardest, females that do the most, do it or do it all, have the most chance of making the most money. And whatever you take off the table, you better be good at everything else. So we forget, you know. And with you, like I said, with the first, now we're gonna move on to your first shoot. What was the boy girl you were talking about before the solo? So how did you get that shoot? And when you went on set, was you nervous? How did the male talent, the male talent, and the producers make you feel comfortable so that they can get the best work out of you? Because, like I said, it's different than doing solos. And if I'm correct, like I said, that first shoot wasn't paid gig, which means it was straight up studio. So go ahead.
Yeah. So the first shoot I did was a local shoot, and it was with a local producer. I got paid. Um, they were very like professional, very nice. I walked into it kind of not even knowing what to expect. I mean, I knew what I was going to do, but I wasn't nervous. And I was like, maybe I'll get nervous when I get there. I never really got
Mm-hmm.
nervous. I think I was just at the point where I was like, I got to do something. Like my the rent was about to be due, and I was like, what, I got to do something regardless of if I'm nervous or not. But I really wasn't. Like, it was fine. I got flown out like a few days later to the East Coast, and I did some boy girl scenes with a small like independent person producer. I keep saying person producer. Um, that was fine too. I think
Yeah,
now.
wait a second. Now I'm gonna let the smokers in on this, okay? She shot with Rodney McLeod's Strippers in the Hood. Ain't a
Mhm,
goddamn thing little about that motherfucker. Because I tell you what I love about you. I always say ignorance is bliss. That's why you're gonna blow up. Because the females that really don't know the industry, it's like the moment that ain't gonna get too big for you.
mhm.
Because how was it working with Rodney? Because that
Rodney,
man been in the business a long time. Yes. McLeod,
yeah,
Strippers in the Hood.
he's great. I loved working with him. Like, he made me feel very comfortable. He picked me up from the airport. He didn't even have to. Like, he dropped me off my hotel afterwards. I got
Mm-hmm.
to, the set, and he was just very gracious, like very accommodating. Those are the types of people I love to work with. Like, they look at you and they recognize you as more than just like a body that they're gonna use for content, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
they're treating you like a human. Like, he's like, you want to go get some hotel breakfast? We got some hotel breakfast before the shoot. Gave me enough time to get ready. He knew I just had gotten off of a really long flight. He was great. Like, I love working with people like him that are just
Mm-hmm.
so accommodating and patient, and they understand, like, this is hard
Mm-hmm.
work, especially when you combine like traveling, like I came
Yeah.
from the West Coast to the East Coast. That was a long ass flight.
Yeah. And see, and trust me, I didn't see Rodney's work. He's a legend in the business. But it for you it's like um so after shooting with them two, you did in New York. Because like I said, you've been
Mhm.
doing this since April. Um so now the focus is how do I get content that I can sell? So how do you go about finding the male talent for you to work with? You feel what I'm saying? Other than now, caveat, I always said this. Other than he's cute and I wouldn't mind fucking him.
Yeah, that was the initial vetting process when I first got into this. Was like, okay, that'll be easy. But no, like I said, it's important to me to be very professional. Whenever I am choosing, especially for collabs, like where I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
get the content and it's gonna be a reflection on me and my brand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really important for me to ensure that their level of professionalism and their ambition and our intentions and our goals are aligned, like they're in this for more, way more than just sex, like I
Mm-hmm.
also, and to be frank, like, I'm a woman. When I go into these shoots, I'm going to have sex with a stranger, and the power dynamic and is off. So, like, if something
Mm-hmm.
were to go wrong, like, I could be in a potentially dangerous situation. So, safety is really important. And just doing like my due diligence to I feel like I have a pretty decent read on people. So if I'm DMing and I'm getting a good vibe, and uh, I'm getting my questions answered in a professional manner. Um, that says a lot. Like, you could tell right away. Like, women, we know stuff. We know, even by the way that you're texting or you're DMing, when we're like, I don't know, like, this is a
Yeah.
really coming off professionally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like I said, that's why I talk about how men approach women. And
Hmm.
also you coming in the game doing pay gigs. You know what I'm saying? For the
Hmm.
most part. now you leveled up. And ladies, I always say this: you never go backwards. You move, always move forward. Period. So now that you'd have been on Rodney McLeod's site, especially him, because you're definitely gonna be seen on that. The people want to see you the way that they saw you when you first introduced them, especially industry wise. So for you
Mhm.
moving forward, like how often do you film to keep up with your content? And is it hard for you to find male talent to work with?
It can be a little hard, for proximity purposes. But also like I really want to make sure I get a good, um, like I'm working with a bunch of different brands, creators slash their brands and whatever their
Mm-hmm.
brand is. Because I really don't want to pigeonhole myself where now the viewer or the audience thinks like I just work with like a certain demographic.
Yeah.
Um, besides like what my type is, I
Mm-hmm.
want to be as inclusive as possible and
Mm-hmm.
like working with like girls or working with gender fluid creators or working with, I've done a lot of shoots with black men. Love black men, y'all are my favorite. But I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, there's so many talented black men, but I need to also make sure that I'm working with, like I'm not just looking for black men to work with. I need to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that I'm looking beyond like what I'm physically attracted to.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna ask you this: did people get your ethnicity wrong?
Yes, all the time. Or they don't know.
Yeah, because when you say, yeah, I'm a white girl, I was like, not because, see, also, that's going to be a good selling point for you, also, because you can't, it's no different than like Hollywood. If a person can play different ethnicity, even though they might be white, it's different ways that you can be seen. You feel what I'm coming from? Period. Do you think because of that, that works great for you because it gets you demographics easier?
Definitely. I mean, for good or bad reasons, I think like women who come off as like racially ambiguous or
Mm-hmm.
like s like I'm running out of words here, but they're like unable to identify what their race is or what their ethnicity is. Like, so that's like a thing. Like men love that. Like they get off on that. So it definitely works in my favor. I think it I can use that to my advantage for my branding as well because it's
Mm-hmm.
like I I think I kind of look like a white girl, but then I'm like I kind of look like something else as well, and it leaves like the viewer, the fans like curious, where they're like, let me
Mm-hmm.
see more, let me try to figure out like what's going on
Mm-hmm.
here.
Okay. So now it's time for the fun questions, people. Let's do it. All right. Are we into anal sex?
I've done a lot of anal in my professional life, a lot of anal.
Oh, oh my goodness.
I did double
So,
anal with DP Diva.
wow. So you get off on anal?
Oh, I gotta be careful with my words here. I don't do a lot of anal in my personal life,
Yeah.
but I've realized that it is something I am good at professionally, and so I
Mm-hmm.
want to continue to do that. I don't want to be an anal queen. Don't put me in the anal queen box, but I
Yeah.
do like doing anal professionally, yes.
Mm-hmm. So do you have an orgasm from it?
Yeah, I was actually just talking about this earlier. I have had orgasms from it, which is surprising me because I never thought that I could. Like I said, I don't do it profession or personally,
Mm-hmm.
so I've surprised myself. Yeah.
So now, so interesting. She did it on camera. All right, let's unpack that real quick before I go to the rest of my questionings. So, what made you decide to do it on camera, and how was that experience? Because technically that was your first time doing anal.
hmm
So, how was that experience?
Um, to be honest, I went into it the same way I went into my first shoot. I was like, I really don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I don't know if I'm gonna hate it, but I'm gonna do it. Like anything that I decide that I'm gonna do and I commit to, I'm gonna 100% do it. And then I can come out of it and reflect and be like, oh, that was horrible, or I loved it, or whatever. But I try not to put too much deep thought into it. If I'm comfortable with it, which I decided I
Mm-hmm.
was, it was within my limits, then
Mm-hmm.
like I'm gonna do it. And then I can go from there. Then I can decide, okay, well, maybe I can make limits within this if I'm comfortable continuing to do it. Because you learn more as you do.
Mm-hmm. So now, are you looking to do, try, or have done a gangbang?
Yes, I would like to, but I want it to be with the right creators or the right male talent.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm very big on professionalism, so I want to ensure that whoever is going to be part of this gangbang, they are coming into it with more than like the perception that like this is just going to be a big fuck fest. Like it's really needs to
Mm-hmm.
be about first and like foremost the content, and you know a gangbang, like that's gonna be like that's a lot on a little person's body. I mean, I'm thick, but I'm still petite. So I need to make sure that the people who I'd be working with are just very accommodating. Like I want the princess treatment.
Oh, I feel you on that. So, what would be the perfect number for your first gangbang?
My first one, I would say 7 to 10.
Yeah.
But I
I thought
want
you were gonna say
quality.
5. I thought you were gonna say 5. She said 10. She's like, nah, I can handle 10. So for
I'll do
you,
10. Yeah, if they're the
so
right people.
for you, it's like put it this way. I talked to many girls that done gangbangs into it. What about a gangbang turns you on? What gets you wet? What gets you going with when it comes to a gangbang or the thought of it?
I think I really like the idea of just all these men
Mm-hmm.
coming around me and just being at my disposal, like there to film me and to pleasure me and to be
Mm-hmm.
like they're ultimately accessible to me. I really it makes me feel like some type of like queen in the old like a long time ago where they had like those the peasants like waving the fans at them. Like I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're here for me. It's about me.
Oh my goodness. So are we into BDSM or any are we into BDSM or BDSM light?
I'll do BDSM light, and I have done it,
Mm-hmm.
and I have done on the extreme end with like harder impact play. I did not enjoy that at all, so that is a very hard limit for me. But
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with like spanking, bondage, things like that. But I don't want it to go into the extreme realm at all.
Yeah. So for you, so when it comes to like I said, because when it comes to your brand, because you're building your brand slowly but surely. Um, where do you want to take it? What would when people think of Veronica Cruz, what you want them to think of?
So when you say brand, I'm even thinking beyond Veronica Cruz as a porn star. I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking of her even after all that, like what like her legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I always say like I want people to be able to recognize my name even if they've never worked with me,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, I've heard that name and I've heard great things about her, like whether she's a great person to work with, or she is just a great person overall. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I want. I mean, I take a lot of pride in my personal character, and I try to let that shine through. It's a different it's Veronica Cruz is not me. I don't go to bed and I'm Veronica Cruz, but
Mm-hmm.
still carrying like a lot of the personal values and ethos that I have. I want that to ultimately shine through, and I want that to reflect through my work, but also the
Mm-hmm.
people that I work with.
Oh yeah, 'cause I tell females this and guys, your brand is also based off of who you fuck on camera. In every which way of the word. So with that being said, are you looking to do content houses in the future? Go to any of the conventions? You know, are you looking to make moves like that?
So this is a really good question. I said earlier, or maybe I didn't say earlier. I am gonna go to conventions, yes. But as far as like content parties, content houses, orgy parties, I'm nothing against that. Personally, this job is not a lifestyle for me. I don't
Mm,
live, I have a whole separate life. Um, that is, there's a lot of aspects that are vanilla, and it's just the way that my life is. I'm totally content with that. Veronica Cruz is my
mm,
job. I love this job. I love this industry. But
mm,
for right now, I don't even have the capacity for it to be like a lifestyle thing. I'm just focused on my
I
money
see what you're saying.
and my brand.
Well, the reason why I asked for the content house is because, for example, content houses, everybody's gonna be TTS tested. Plus, these are actual. We ain't talking about the bullshit content houses. No, we talking about the more professional, high end porn star content houses, where it's gonna be top notch producers, award winning producers are gonna be there, as well as award winning talent. Period and stuff. So it's like I always say this. A lot of times, I'm trying to say it right so my smokers can understand as well as you. If you want to be considered a big dog, you have to work with big dogs. Iron sharpens iron. When you deal with professionals, it two reasons why I would suggest to you to do these content houses. And if you need me to direct you in the right spot, which technically I can because you ain't Cali. So, hi, Richard. Hi, Mr. Mysterious. You know what I'm saying? Hi, Red Bottom. Now, but anyway, no, the reason why I tell females do not be shut off to a content house. The reason for this is because you walk away with a lot of content. And it's also great for networking because you work with other people that are serious in the business that's doing it to a high level. Because the reason why I even suggest this to you, because me personally, as a producer slash talent that worked 15 years, I know what will pop in Hollywood. It ain't changed. You're it. Because I'm pretty sure you walked in the game getting paid gigs and you continue to get paid gigs. So I'm not shocked when you were telling me that. But the thing with content houses is not that it's a party or it's a lifestyle. People are there to actually work. Now, if you work best when it's more of a one-on-one, more closed set, intimate setting, I get that. You feel me? But with a content house, if you're trying to get content, you said the gang bangs. It got to be the right people. You do TTS, right?
Always.
Okay, then try to get a gang bang with some of these motherfuckers, and they got to get swabbed. So that's why I tell females, no, it's not about going to the content house. It's about going to the right content house. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. And I know that I probably a lot of my ideas that I have even right now are just out of ignorance. I've never been to a professional content house, so I
Mm,
really don't know what it would be like. I mean, I have so much respect for people who've been in this industry and who are like way bigger than I am, and they're everything
mm,
I aspire to be. But
mm.
yeah, I don't have, I don't if I don't know something, then things like that require me to be among the big dogs, it can be a little bit intimidating. I'm a little guy in a big sea, amongst a
Girl,
bunch of
you will
sharks.
fit in like a you will fit in. You will
Well,
fit
and I wouldn't,
in.
I would definitely do it if it was something like there's a bunch of professional creators and we're all here to work like 100%, because that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, because see, when it comes down to it is, like I said before earlier, you work with established talent. The more established it is, the better off you are. because they got that type of fan base, and it's not just a fan base, pay gigs too, because the producers watch their sites. You feel me? For
Mm-hmm.
example, well, let's just say you happen to have Rodney McLeod. You just shot Rodney McLeod, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's in New York. New York has a big porn scene. They got plenty of companies. Right now, they're watching you. When that scene drop, when she come back to NY. That's why, like, if you announce, let's say you was going to Chicago, New Jersey, excuse me, Azaka, New Jersey, you be booked. You be booked solid. I'm trying to tell you, because like I said, that's why I said part of it. It's not about fucking. It's about who you fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole point of the matter is the biggest mistake girls do is go off with I just want to fuck them.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. We want you to want us to fuck us. But but even with me, with females, it's like, especially nowadays, you want the name attached to it. Because for females, it works faster for them than dudes. It's like with us, it takes us to shoot with a lot of y'all to gain a name. It takes y'all to shoot with one.
Mm.
So that's why I'm saying when it comes down to it is the Rome Majors, the Alfonso Lays, you out there in Cali, there's Richard Mann, there's Mr. Mysterious, you know, the Devin Drills. There's many guys that trust me, even Freak Mob or some of them, that you shooting with them. Excuse me, I ain't gonna be Freak Mob here. He'll pay you. That ain't the point. I'm talking about content wise. That they pay attention to that shit. Period. Because it's like, to me, you have a look that will go over in this industry heavy to the point that you're gonna have longevity. Trust me on that.
Well, cool. I love to hear that. I appreciate
Yeah,
that hearing
so
that because I don't know a lot of this stuff, so I'm kind of learning as I go.
so with you, it's because you're new. How much you start to learn about personal responsibility within your personal life sexually, because now you're chasing this business, TTS, and all that good stuff.
Um, it's a big responsibility. Um, like obviously, like being tested for work, now you're tested with your partner or partners,
Yeah.
but I've always thought it would be very difficult to find a relationship with someone outside of this industry.
Mm-hmm.
Because like what man, I'm sure they're out there, but a lot of men are not going to be okay with you having sex for work with other men. um and
Mm-hmm.
so I kind of just was like, I was willing to like let that idea go, and like, that's not, relationships aren't a priority to me, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
uh I like, now I'm currently like seeing somebody in the industry, and even that, like, it's still a responsibility. Like, we're still constantly having to have conversations about boundaries, and what we're comfortable with and what we're not comfortable with. And but I think being in this industry has made it a lot easier to have those conversations. I mean, there already can be awkward and uncomfortable conversations,
Mm-hmm.
but you know y- the idea is that you're having those conversations with everyone you work with regarding boundaries, what you like, la da da da. And so now you're taking that and you're having this similar conversations in a relationship or with someone that you're interested in. So I mean, there's more feelings there and anxiety, but it's made it where I'm more equipped to do that
Mm-hmm.
and have sex and be in a relationship and do it the right way.
Yeah, because see, the thing about it is, it ain't it like with the vanilla people. They can go to the club, they can go to the bar, take something home, fuck the shit out of it. Us, we got to be a little bit more skeptical because that test costs, and the key is You must be negative to
Mm-hmm.
make positive money in this business.
No, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like that's why I said like as far as like a relationship with somebody outside of the industry, I
Yeah.
was like, I'll put the money before that. Like I'll put my career before that because I
Mm-hmm.
don't have time to, you know, I don't have time to, or even I don't want to risk it. I don't want to have to explain to someone why they should get the same test that I do and get tested regularly and whatever. But yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Okay. So do you still webcam?
I haven't got into webcamming. I've been meaning to, but I think it'd be good to have like a webcamming partner, at
I
least
see.
for like part of the time. And I'm old. Like I said, I'm 29. Like I look at some of these
I'm
webcam
mad at she
things.
said she owes you 29.
I look at some of these webcam apps and I'm like, what the heck? What are all these buttons and wheels? And I've just been putting off learning it.
Well, shoot. Well, I tell people, find what you like to do and make money at it, even within this business. Period. Because, like, I'm pretty sure you do customs,
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Do you do FaceTime too?
Yes.
See, that's what I'm saying. So for you, how did you figure out what to do other than content? Because the biggest mistake girls make in this business is depend upon the content to make the bread instead of finding different avenues within the business to make money along with it, with the content.
Honestly, I can't speak like I have it all figured out because I don't. I'm still figuring out myself.
Mm,
And when I first started doing this work, I mean, still fairly new, but I've invested a lot of my time and my energy into paid shoots, so I'm not getting any
mm,
of the content usually.
mm,
So now I'm just kind of like starting to prioritize making my own content, but now
mm,
I'm navigating a whole different beast. I'm trying to
mm,
learn what is the best way to do that and like produce it, what's the best way to put it out there.
mm.
So I can't really speak. I'm not a pro. I'm not even like I'm
Well,
still in the 101 with the your own content thing.
well, that's why I love doing smokers. I like to show you the girls who just come in, even to the legends, so you get different perspective how this game is. And that's the point. Our business is DIY or DIY, whatever the fuck they call it. DIY, that's what it is. You know, and it's part of working with people. That's the networking of talking to somebody. They kind of give you tips sometimes, or what have you. And in some cases, just fuck around and find out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've done a lot of that.
Period. Because you do your own editing and uploading, correct?
I do get help, but as far as like uploading, yeah, I do that myself. Editing is a little different.
Yeah, it ain't no joke, is it? It's
Oh
the
no.
unsexy part of the business.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a producer and don't aspire to be one.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. So, how do you feel to be in a profession that gives you the grace of discovery with your sexuality? Because I take it there's a lot of things that you have done in porn that you may have not done in your personal life.
Yeah. I find it very empowering. Like, I'm not to get too deep here, but um,
No, you
in
can get
my
deep.
well,
We
so
love it when you get deep.
I feel like I've always been hypersexualized, even as a a minor. Like
Mm-hmm,
because of how I looked or my body or just perceptions that people had of me of how they thought I was. And like whether or not some of those ideas were true or not, I still had the body and looked the way that I did. And I the, I would wear, like, if I wanted to wear certain things, or if I wanted to just, I'm overall like, I have to be comfortable in my body to be in porn, like, for the most part, right? Like, I'm comfortable being nude. I'm comfortable, like, having sex. Like, I'm comfortable with
mm-hmm,
that. But when you live in a world that's not comfortable with that, and porn is like this isolated realm, like people don't like that, you know, and you get shamed for dressing a certain way or acting a certain way or um talking about certain things like sex, that now that I'm in the porn world, I just feel like a large sense of community. I feel like I found my community, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like I take a big, like I've taken just a big sigh of relief. Like I can be myself. Like these people are like me. We all are nude and we enjoy sex and we're not afraid to talk about it. Like it's just great, honestly.
Yeah, because to me, it's like my mama always said, and y'all know what I'm about to say. Never be ashamed what you got to do to feed your family. You know, and that's deep on so many levels because part of it is loving what you do. You
Mhm.
know, and then two, also doing this enables you to be your own boss. You know, period.
Mhm.
Because and you can't, and also you can't be dumb to do this business because things that you got to pay attention to that girls don't pay attention to. Some you got to pay attention to the stats. You got to actually listen to the fans sometimes to what type of scenes they might want to see from you or like or what have you and everything. And it and I mean you been in 6 months, but it seemed like to me that you kind of got you gaining knowledge and you're moving as a woman that been in it for 3, going on 4. That's a
Thanks.
good thing. so
Yeah.
so for you it's like okay, I'm actually no. I know I want to go with this. I got that. It's keep popping in my head. All right. You have done anal, you said on camera, what have you. That's including solo, am I correct?
Hmm.
Okay. What's the biggest dick you done had in your ass? And the biggest dick that you can take?
Like, do you want me to name drop or give you
I mean,
some
you can name
info?
drop. Hey, we can name drop here. Especially if it's good. Go ahead.
I'm a name drop. Um, I did Perf City with Isaiah Maxwell. Biggest, longest dick I've ever had in my ass. It was fun. I just was. It was a new challenge. It was, yeah.
You know some people. Don't you ever sit here and tell me that you ain't a porn star woman. Hold on. Did this is a multi I think won an award or two and been nominated for. See, it's funny. It like this. Prior to this, you really didn't watch porn. You wasn't necessarily a fan of porn per se, right?
No, right.
So it's like when you, it's gonna be funny as fuck. So have you talked to someone that knows porn and you told them who you shot with?
Um, yeah, I've talked to. I mean, well, I don't talk to people in my personal life, but like the fans, they love it. I mean, I've, you know.
Yeah. So for you, it's like, did you think walking in April that you have this fast of a rise or a rise in the game and how much you have accomplished? Because we're talking about April and this is what October as we recording this.
No, I didn't. I really just was doing it. I didn't really know. I didn't have a, like how I have a plan now. I didn't have a 3-year plan. I
Mm-hmm.
just started for the money, and I got to a place where it became more about the money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I still, like I said, I'm still learning. I never watched porn. I still don't know a lot of
Mm-hmm.
stuff about porn. I know more from like the business end than from like a viewer's knowledge of porn, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like when it, like I hear like I'm gonna work with certain people, I'm thinking from like a business perspective, like, okay, yeah, I've heard of this person. I know where, like, I know, like, they've worked with this company and this person, blah, blah, blah. But I don't get, like, I don't know, the, the same feelings that, like, a fan of porn would or someone that's,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
consume that.
But the thing about it too is, I think even if you knew, you the type of person that it wouldn't be the moment would get too big for you.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think maybe it's best that I don't know. Who knows? I'm a regular person like anyone else. I'm sure I'm susceptible to, you know, getting a big head. But for the most part, I've remained humble, and it's I don't know. I guess I can contribute that to some of that to where I am today.
So, uh, smokers, let's just take a moment to take a look at Miss Shorty. She is beautiful. So I was scrolling through your stuff at the same time talking to you. So moving forward with your career, especially going into 2025. This is dropping in 2025 technically, but um, what do you look to achieve and accomplish?
Right now, I have certain goals of working with bigger studios. I
Mm-hmm,
want to work with certain names.
mm-hmm,
I want to start figuring out a plan of what I'm going or what I can do that goes beyond just being in film. Like I
mm-hmm,
said, I love this industry. I love the people. I love the community. So even if I'm like in 5 years not
mm-hmm,
in front of a camera, I would still love to stay in this industry in some aspect. So
mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is yet. Maybe I'll do a podcast like you, or maybe I'll maybe I'll open my own agency. I don't know. Like I'm starting to think about that more. I want there to
Mm-hmm,
be just more opportunities out there that I can take what I know now and what I'm going to
mm-hmm,
continue to learn, and the connections that I have, and be able to use that in a way that's not just film. I love film. I love being in porn. I love modeling for porn, but I also love a lot of other things so that that I might be able to do in this industry.
Yeah, because it's a way to make money within the industry that doesn't involve you being in front of the camera.
Hmm.
Period. And I tell females to master both because sometimes being behind the camera teaches. Sometimes being behind the camera teaches you to be great in front of the camera,
Hmm.
and which in turn will help you behind the camera, behind the scenes when you work with big dogs, you talk to big dogs. Because the whole thing of it is that um, there need to be more females that have that ability because then it can open the door for more females because y'all dominate the industry anyway, money wise. Trust me, we don't make more money than them. We do not make more money than y'all. So, but no, but that's a good way to be aware because sometimes it's good to be a kingmaker. To where
Hmm.
it means more to shoot with Veronica Cruz than it is for Veronica Cruz to shoot with anybody else.
I like that.
So, yeah. So and shoot, like I said, I'm well now. You only been in 6 months, so
Yeah. I,
oh my god, yes, I can't wait to watch her on her journey because this is gonna be fun.
yes,
Because
I
the
hope.
last, put it this way, the last person I talked to that was just 6 months in, they just say they're doing big shit. So
I want that
and
to be me. By the time this podcast episode gets released, I want to like have a couple more pro suits under my belt.
oh, boo boo, you okay? I'm gonna ask you this. All right, you shot with Rodney McLeod. You shot with. I got your stuff here. Uh, Pearl City, some amateurs, which I know that was a company because I seen them before. And like I said, it's for the 6 months. If your 6 months continue, if the next 6 months continue as these first 6 months, you will have one of the hottest rookie years I've seen.
Really? Oh my gosh.
No, because I tell females, if you come in the game getting paid gigs, that's a good thing. because when you drop your content, now the world saw you. Now it's going to draw them to you. Period. So it's
True.
just if all you got is OnlyFans, I suggest you get some more platforms. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
best to have many checks than one.
I want all the passive income I can get.
Oh my God. So look, people, I done held Miss Cruz on here for an hour. So you know what time it is. It's time for me to ask you the $1 million question. Miss Veronica Cruz, can I call you a smoke buddy?
Yes, you can. Of
See, there
course.
you go, people. So you know what that means. I'm gonna make it quick and simple. She'll be back here on the Smokers Lounge, and I'm bringing her, if she's willing, to the premium smoke room on Loyal fucking Fans. That's right, on Loyal Fans. 5 premium podcasts for you to enjoy, plus special event episodes that I'll be dropping. And you know what happens in the premium smoke room? It gets more candid, it gets more provocative, it gets more wilder, it gets more unpredictable. The conversation gets way more saucier. Tits might pop out, dildos might pop out. You don't know unless you subscribe. And while you're on there, you also get access to check out my work as I'm giving ladies the work, because big dicks grow in the sticks. That's why they call me Big Country in the video store section. And for my people on Spotify, check out and subscribe and check out Savage Smoke, where I talk to the industry's top male talents in the business. Fonzo Lays, Heck Tech, Dreadway, David Lee, all that. And there's no telling who else I had talked to by this time this motherfucker dropped. So there you go. Plus over 400 episodes, ranging from limited podcast series that I did in the past, premium smoke podcast episodes that are only on Spotify and not on Loyal Fans, and some special stuff I'm gonna do for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So what you need to do is subscribe to both or subscribe to either. Become a premium smoker or catch that savage smoke. Either way, catch that smoke. You feel me? So with that being said, Miss Veronica Cruz, tell everybody where they can spend money on you.
Yeah, so you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is the Veronica Cruz. I have my link tree in my bio there. You can find me on OnlyFans, the Veronica Cruz, and IG, the Veronica Cruz.
See, there you go, people. So y'all go there, spend that good money. And yes, she will be back. Cause I know y'all love following these ladies on their journey. You feel me? Now, what did we smoke over today and what did we learn? Well, like I told you, I try to give you a spectrum. I give you a person that's 6 months in. I know what y'all saying. Why you interview her and she's 6 months in? Because it's very important. Because you always hear about legends, but you never hear about anybody getting into the business and what it takes. Period. And on top of that, her 6 months has been better than some of these girls' 6 years. See, what it's about is the reason why she got all these gigs. Let me tell you the reason why, if you listen to what she said. It's about professionalism. See, the lesson of today is professionalism. Knowing how to act on set. Doing your job. See, granted, yeah, y'all think because we fucking on camera, what the fuck is professional about it? No, it's very professional. Because see, she shot at a high level. That means you got to deal with directors telling you after 5 minutes of doing doggy style and you about to hit that nut. Whoa, hold it. Need to switch positions. She just explained to you how rough a foot job was, a milking scene. This is just jerking off a dick with your feet and your hands, but it's not just about doing that. It's the way of doing it, looking sexy, making it look sexy. I keep telling you people, we're not here to sell sex. We're here to sell the image and thought and the fantasy of sex. The people that understand that and master that is making money. They're doing this full time. Or they just got a 9 to 5 and still making money. But either way, they're making money. And they ain't out in 3 months. They ain't sitting here boo-hooing, oh God, OnlyFans destroyed my life. No. They have become business people, entrepreneurs. And that's what it's about, ain't it? That's why we do it. Are you doing this because you want a good nut? That's fine. But at some point, you have to start doing it as if you want to build something that's greater than yourself. So with that being said, you know how we end these things. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience? You haven't learned anything. Smoke this over. Miss Cruz, say goodbye to him, baby.
Bye. Thank you so much for having me.
It was a pleasure. Hold on.